I am happy you are here today. In this video, you will learn simple English, but you will also learn something very important for your life. Today, we will talk about toxic people. Toxic people can take your peace, your confidence, and your energy. They can make your heart feel heavy. They can make your mind feel confused. They can make your day feel dark, even if your morning started bright. This video will help you understand who toxic people are, how they affect you, and how you can handle them like a pro without fighting, without shouting, and without losing your true self. Let me start with a small story. Imagine you wake up in the morning feeling good. The sun is warm. Your mind is calm. You feel strong, ready for the day. You smile. You feel light. You think today will be a great day. But then something happens. Maybe you meet someone who always complains. Maybe you talk to someone who always criticizes you. Maybe you hear a negative comment, a rude joke, or an unkind remark. Suddenly, your good mood disappears. Your smile becomes weak. Your energy becomes low. You start thinking, what did I do wrong? Or, why do they treat me like this? This is what toxic people do. They drain you. They do not take your money or your food. They take your peace. They take your power. And the sad thing is, sometimes they do it without even knowing. Sometimes they do it every day. And sometimes they are people you see all the time, at work, at school, or even at home. Healthy people make you feel safe. They make you feel calm. They make you feel seen. You feel relaxed when you talk to them. You feel like you can breathe. Toxic people make you feel small. They make you feel wrong. They make you feel tired. You feel like you have to defend yourself, or explain yourself, or prove yourself again and again, and that is not a healthy way to live. Many people think the only way to deal with toxic people is to fight, to shout, to argue, to push back. But that is not true. Fighting does not give you power. It only gives you stress. In this video, you will learn new ways, peaceful ways, simple ways, strong ways. You will learn how to protect your mind and your heart. You will learn how to stay calm, how to stay confident, and how to stay in control. You will learn how to walk through toxic situations without letting them break you. This video is not only about toxic people. It is also about you. It is about your self-respect. It is about your confidence. It is about your peace. I want you to know that your feelings are important. Your energy is important. Your life is important. You do not have to accept bad behavior. You do not have to let others control your emotions. You can choose a new way. You can choose a healthier life. As you listen to this video, you are also learning English, and that is powerful. You are growing in two ways at the same time. You are learning a new language, and you are learning new life skills. This is the heart of Read and Learn English. We want you to learn English that helps you live a better life. English that helps you communicate, think, and grow. English that gives you confidence. English that gives you clarity. English that gives you strength. Think about the people in your life. Think about the people who lift you up. Think about the people who push you down. Think about the people who make you feel happy. Think about the people who make you feel stressed. Life becomes lighter when you spend more time with healthy people. Life becomes heavier when you spend too much time with toxic people. This contrast is clear and simple. Healthy people build you. Toxic people break you. Healthy people support you. Toxic people drain you. Healthy people help you grow. Toxic people hold you back. In this video, you will learn how to break free from this heavy cycle. You will learn how to see toxic behavior early. You will learn how to stay strong inside even when someone tries to bring you down. You will learn how to keep your peace safe even when the world around you feels loud or negative. You will learn that you do not need anger to be strong. You do not need fear to be safe. You do not need to shout to protect yourself. You only need the right tools. And today, I will give you those tools. This is not a video to attack anyone. It is a video to help you understand people better. It is a video to help you understand yourself better. Toxic people are everywhere, but your power is also inside you. And when you know how to use your power, toxic people lose their power over you. So, take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Open your heart and mind. You are about to learn something that can change your relationships, your daily life, and your future. The journey starts now. Let's begin with understanding what a toxic person truly looks like. Section 1. What is a toxic person? When we talk about a toxic person, many people feel confused. Some people think toxic means evil. Some think it means someone who is bad or dangerous. Some even think it means someone who is their enemy. But this is not the right idea. A toxic person is not always evil. A toxic person is not always a bad human being. A toxic person is not always someone who hates you. The real meaning is much simpler. A toxic person is someone who is harmful for your mind and your heart. They do not poison your body. They poison your peace. They poison your confidence. They poison your happiness. And sometimes they do not even see what they are doing. A toxic person can be anyone. It can be a friend who always complains. You meet them with a smile, but they come to you with a sad story, a negative idea, or a problem they never try to fix. Every time you talk to them, you feel your energy falling. You feel tired, even though you did nothing. Your mind becomes heavy. You start thinking, why do I feel this way? I was happy just 5 minutes ago. This is what toxic behavior looks like. It pulls you down, slowly and quietly. A toxic person can also be a coworker. Imagine you work hard on something. You try your best. You feel proud of your effort. But then this coworker makes fun of you. They laugh at your ideas. They tell you your work is nothing special. They try to make you feel small because they want to feel big. When you hear their words, you feel confused. You feel hurt. You feel like all your hard work no longer matters. This is another form of toxic behavior. It attacks your confidence. A toxic person can even be a family member. Maybe it is someone who judges everything you do. If you talk, they say you talk too much. If you stay quiet, they say you talk too little. If you try something new, they say it is a bad idea. If you stay the same, they say you are not growing. No matter what you do, they never support you. They never celebrate you. They only criticize. They make you feel like you are never good enough. And when you leave the room, you feel tired in your heart. You feel guilty for things that are not your fault. You feel stressed, even though you did nothing wrong. This is toxic behavior too. A toxic person is not defined by who they are. They are defined by how they make you feel. Healthy people help you breathe. Toxic people make you feel like you are holding your breath. Healthy people lift you. Toxic people push you down. Healthy people make you feel safe. Toxic people make you feel tense or careful. Healthy people respect your feelings. Toxic people step on your feelings like they do not matter. This contrast is important because many people think toxic means angry, loud, or mean. But sometimes toxic behavior can come from people who are quiet or soft-spoken. Sometimes it comes from people who smile. Sometimes it comes from people who say they love you. So the real meaning is not about the person's personality. It is about the effect they have on you. You can know someone is toxic when your energy drops every time they appear. You can know someone is toxic when you feel stressed before talking to them. You can know someone is toxic when your heart feels heavy after the conversation. You can know someone is toxic when their words make you doubt yourself, even if you were confident before. Toxic people often leave a mark on your feelings. They may not hit you, but they hit your peace. They may not shout, but they shake your confidence. They may not fight with you, but they fight with your emotions. Toxic behavior can show in many simple ways. Some toxic people blame you for everything. Something goes wrong, and suddenly it is your fault. Some toxic people complain all day but never change anything. Some toxic people gossip and speak badly about others. Some toxic people pretend to be kind but use their kindness to control you. Some toxic people hide their feelings and make you guess what they want. Some toxic people pretend to be victims in every situation, even when they hurt others. These behaviors make you feel confused, tired, stressed, or sad. And if this happens again and again, you start to lose your peace. The important thing to understand is this: toxic people are not always doing it on purpose. Some learned this behavior from their own life. Some do not understand how their actions hurt others. Some feel pain inside and pass that pain to people around them. This does not excuse their behavior, but it helps you understand that toxic does not mean evil. Toxic means harmful. Harmful for your mind, harmful for your heart, harmful for your growth. Once you understand this meaning, handling toxic people becomes easier. You stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking something is wrong with you. You stop feeling guilty for their bad behavior. You start to see things clearly. You start to protect your peace. You start to understand that you cannot change them, but you can change how you respond. And this is the first step to becoming stronger. Now that we understand what toxic people do, let's learn the signs so you can see them early. Section 2. Signs you are dealing with a toxic person. When you know the signs of a toxic person, your life becomes easier. You can see the danger early. You can protect your peace before it is too late. Many people suffer for years because they cannot recognize the signs. They think, maybe it's my fault, or maybe this person will change. But the truth is simple. Toxic people repeat the same behaviors again and again. They do not stop. They do not care how you feel. They only care about themselves. So, in this section, we will learn the clear, easy-to-see signs of toxic people. These signs will help you understand who is safe for your heart and who is not. One big sign is manipulation. Manipulation means someone tries to control you by playing with your mind or feelings. They may pretend to be kind, but they use their kindness to control your actions. For example, imagine you have a coworker who always says, "I helped you last time, so you must help me now." They say it in a soft voice, but it makes you feel pressured. You feel like you cannot say no. They give you guilt instead of respect. That is manipulation. A toxic person wants you to feel small, so you will follow their wishes. A healthy person gives you choice. A toxic person takes your choice away. Another strong sign is blame. Toxic people never accept responsibility for their mistakes. They always point fingers at others. If something small goes wrong, they blame you. If they forget something, they blame you. Even if the problem has nothing to do with you, they still find a way to make it your fault. Imagine a family member who arrives late to a dinner. Instead of saying sorry, they say, "You should have reminded me. You did nothing wrong," but suddenly you feel guilty. Toxic people use blame to make you feel insecure. They want you to doubt yourself because it gives them more control. The next sign is jealousy. Jealousy is normal sometimes, but toxic jealousy is different. A toxic person feels angry when you grow, when you smile, or when you succeed. They may say things like, "You are lucky, not talented," or "You think you are better than us now?" They do not celebrate your achievements. They try to pull you down so you stay at their level. For example, imagine you get a small promotion at work. Instead of saying "Congratulations," your coworker says, "It won't last long." Suddenly, your happy moment feels smaller. Toxic people crush your joy because your joy reminds them of their own insecurity. Another important sign is controlling behavior. Toxic people want to control what you do, what you think, or who you spend time with. They ask too many questions. They want to know everything you do. They may say, "I only want to help," but their tone feels heavy. It feels like they want power over you. For example, picture a friend who gets upset when you spend time with other people. They say, "Why are you with them? You should be with me." This is not love or care. This is control. A healthy person gives you space. A toxic person becomes angry when you have space. Constant criticism is another clear sign. Toxic people criticize everything: your clothes, your ideas, your dreams, your habits, even your personality. It does not matter how hard you try. It is never enough for them. They hide their criticism as honesty or help, but it only hurts. For example, imagine you finally start going to the gym. You feel proud of yourself. But then a friend says, "Why bother? You won't stay consistent." These words feel like a small cut in your heart. Toxic people use criticism to make you feel weak, because when you feel weak, you depend more on their opinion. All these signs may look small at first, but together they create a heavy feeling in your life. A toxic person can turn a good day into a terrible day with just one sentence. Imagine this. You wake up feeling happy. You eat breakfast, get ready, and start your day with positive energy. Then you meet a toxic person. Maybe they make a small joke about your appearance. Maybe they remind you of a past mistake. Maybe they complain about something you did not do. After that short moment, your energy drops, your smile disappears, your mind becomes cloudy. This is the power toxic people have when you do not recognize the signs. Ignoring the signs is ineffective. Many people try to be patient. They hope the toxic person will magically become better. They say, "Maybe they will change if I stay kind." But toxic people rarely change because they never see their own behavior as a problem. They believe everyone else is wrong. Hoping for change only gives you more pain. Noticing the signs early is effective. When you understand the signs, you can protect yourself. You can set healthy boundaries. You can choose distance. You can save your energy. You can stay calm and confident. You do not need to fight. You only need awareness. Now that you understand the signs of toxic behavior, you are ready for the next step. Once you see the signs, the next step is protecting yourself. Section 3. Why toxic people affect you so much. Toxic people affect you more deeply than you expect. Sometimes you meet them for only 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes can change your whole day. You may start your morning feeling happy, strong, and full of good energy. But after one toxic conversation, your mood drops, your heart becomes heavy, you feel confused, tired, or even angry. This happens because toxic people know how to touch the most sensitive parts of your mind. They know how to plant doubt, fear, or guilt without you even noticing. Before you meet a toxic person, everything feels normal. You feel confident. You feel ready for the day. You believe in yourself. But after the toxic interaction, your mind feels different. Suddenly, you question your decisions. You wonder if you said something wrong. You replay their words again and again in your head. You ask yourself, why did that make me feel so bad? The answer is simple. Toxic people speak to your emotions, not your logic. Their behavior hits your heart first, and your heart controls your mood. One reason toxic people affect you so much is that they create doubt inside you. Even when you know you are doing your best, they make you feel like it is not enough. For example, imagine you finish a project at work. You feel proud, but then a toxic coworker says, I guess it's okay. Just one small sentence can erase your excitement. Suddenly, you doubt your own skill. You wonder if you did something wrong. Toxic people know how to use small words to make big cracks in your confidence. Another reason is fear. Toxic people often use fear to control you. Maybe they suggest that you will fail. Maybe they warn you that others do not like you. Maybe they say, if you don't listen to me, something bad will happen. Even if you know their words are unfair, a small part of you becomes afraid. Fear is powerful. It makes your mind freeze. It makes you act quickly without thinking. Toxic people use this fear to keep you close and keep you quiet. Guilt is another tool they use. Good people care about others. Good people do not want to hurt anyone. Toxic people know this. They twist your kindness into guilt. They say things like, you never have time for me, or, if you really cared, you would do what I say. Suddenly, you feel guilty even though you did nothing wrong. This guilt makes you do extra work, give extra attention, or say yes when you want to say no. Toxic people take advantage of your gentle heart. There is also a simple psychological cycle that many good people fall into. Toxic people give you small moments of approval, just enough to keep you trying. For example, they criticize you all week, but one day they say, "Good job." That one small compliment feels huge because you waited so long for it. It feels like a reward. So you try harder to get their approval again. This is how the cycle works. They hurt you, then give you tiny kindness, then hurt you again. Your heart becomes confused. You keep hoping they will change. You keep trying to be good enough. But the truth is, you were always good enough. They are the problem, not you. Good people often try too hard to please toxic people because they want peace. They want harmony. They want everyone to be happy. But this makes them easy targets. Toxic people choose kind, soft, patient people because they know these people will not fight back. They know these people will carry emotional weight that does not belong to them. This is why the cycle continues. The emotional effect of toxic people is strong because it hits three important parts of your mind: your confidence, your safety, and your kindness. When these three parts are attacked, you feel weak, tired, and lost. You may even blame yourself for feeling this way. But you must remember one thing: your reactions are normal. Anyone who deals with toxic behavior feels the same emotional drain. It is not your weakness, it is their influence. The good news is that you do not have to stay stuck in this cycle. You do not have to carry this emotional weight forever. You can learn to protect your heart, your energy, and your peace. You can choose distance. You can choose self-respect. You can take back your power. And now, we will learn exactly how to do that. Section 4. Stay calm and do not react. When you deal with a toxic person, the first and most powerful skill is simple: stay calm. This sounds easy, but it is not. When someone attacks you with blame, anger, or rude words, your mind wants to react fast. Your heart beats quickly. Your body becomes tense. You want to defend yourself. You want to explain. You want to win the fight. But this fast reaction is exactly what toxic people want. They want you to lose control. They want you to get emotional. They want you to explode so they can say, "See, you are the problem." That is why calmness is your secret power. It protects you. It keeps your mind clear. It keeps your heart safe. Let's imagine a simple moment. You are at work. You did your part of a project. But a toxic coworker suddenly says, "This is your fault. You always make mistakes." Your first instinct might be to shout back, "No, it's not my fault." Or maybe you want to argue step by step. But this is the bad reaction. This reaction gives them control. When you shout, you lose your peace. When you argue, you waste your energy. When you try to win, you fall into their trap. Toxic people enjoy chaos. They enjoy drama. They enjoy seeing you lose your calm. Now imagine the same situation, but you act like a pro. You stay calm. You breathe slowly. You keep your voice soft. Instead of reacting fast, you pause. You give yourself 1 second to think. Then you say something simple like, "Let's look at the facts," or, "I understand you're upset. Let's talk calmly." This is the pro reaction. You do not let their negativity enter your heart. You keep your peace like a shield. Your calmness is not weakness. It is strength. It shows that you control yourself, not them. A toxic friend might also try to push your buttons. Maybe they say something like, "Why are you always so slow? You are so boring." The bad reaction is to jump and say, "What do you mean? I'm not slow." The pro reaction is to stay quiet for a moment, take a breath, and reply calmly. When you stay calm, you show that their words do not break you. You show that you are not afraid. You show that you are strong on the inside. Here is a simple breathing exercise to help you stay calm in any toxic moment. It takes only 10 seconds, but it can save your whole day. First, breathe in slowly for 4 seconds. Feel your chest rise. Hold that breath for 2 seconds. Then breathe out slowly for 4 seconds. Do this 2 or 3 times. You do not need to do it loudly. You can do it quietly while looking at the person. This small action sends a message to your brain: stay calm, stay in control, Your heart begins to relax. Your mind becomes clearer. You stop the emotional storm before it starts. Another powerful technique is the pause. When a toxic person attacks you with rude words or unfair blame, pause before you speak. Do not answer immediately. Do not react with emotion. Just wait 1 or 2 seconds. This pause gives you time to choose your words. It gives you time to protect your peace. It also surprises the toxic person because they expect you to react fast. They expect drama. When you pause, you break their pattern. You show that you are not easy to control. Staying calm does not mean you accept their behavior. It does not mean you agree with them. It does not mean you are weak. It means you choose peace over chaos. It means you choose power over noise. When you stay calm, you stay in control of yourself. You protect your energy. You stop the toxic person from entering your mind. Calmness is like a strong wall around your heart. The toxic person may shout, complain, or judge, but their words cannot enter if your wall is strong. Think of calmness like a superpower. Many people shout back, argue, or panic, but a strong person knows how to stay centered. A strong person knows how to breathe slowly and speak gently. A strong person knows that not every battle needs to be fought. Calmness is not about letting them win. It is about choosing a smart strategy. You win by not letting their negativity touch you. When you stay calm, something amazing happens. The toxic person becomes confused. They lose their power. Their anger becomes weaker. Their voice becomes softer. They cannot control a calm person. Calmness is a mirror that shows their behavior clearly. Sometimes they even walk away because they did not get the reaction they wanted. This is why calmness is always the first step when dealing with toxic people. It gives you control. It gives you clarity. It gives you strength. And once you have this strength, you are ready for the next important skill in this journey. Now that you know how to stay calm and not react, the next step is understanding your boundaries. Boundaries protect your peace even more, and we will explore them next. Section 5. Set clear boundaries. Many people feel tired, stressed, and unhappy around toxic people because they do not have boundaries. A boundary is simple. It means knowing what is okay for you and what is not okay for you. It means understanding your limits. It means protecting your time, your energy, and your peace. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. Boundaries are about protecting your heart. When you learn to set strong boundaries, you feel safe and respected. When you do not set boundaries, you feel used, tired, and invisible. Think of a person who always says yes to everything. Maybe you have been that person before. Someone asks for help, and you say yes, even when you are busy. A friend asks for money, and you say yes, even when you cannot afford it. A coworker gives you extra work, and you say yes because you do not want to seem rude. At first, you feel helpful. But slowly, you start to feel tired. You feel empty. You feel angry inside because people take and take and take. You do not say no, but your heart says no 1,000 times. This is life without boundaries. It hurts your mind. It steals your energy. It makes you feel like your feelings do not matter. Now imagine the same person, but with clear boundaries. When someone gives extra work, they say, "I cannot do this right now." When a friend makes a rude joke, they calmly say, "Please do not speak to me like that." When someone calls and wants to talk for an hour while they are busy, they say, I cannot talk right now. This person is not rude. They are honest. They are clear. They are strong. Life with boundaries feels peaceful. You feel respected. You feel calm. You sleep better. You stop feeling angry inside. You feel like your time and energy finally have value. Setting boundaries is not about fighting. It is not about shouting. It is not about being aggressive. It is about speaking in a clear and calm way. It is about telling people how to treat you. Toxic people do not like boundaries because boundaries stop them from using you. But healthy people respect boundaries because they want you to feel safe and happy. Here are some simple, powerful boundary lines you can use in real life. These lines are easy to say, easy to remember, and perfect for A1 to A2 English speakers. I cannot talk right now. Please do not speak to me like that. I need space. I cannot help with this. I am not comfortable with that. Let's talk later. That is not okay for me. These sentences are short, but they are strong. They show confidence without shouting. They show power without anger. They show respect for yourself. When you use these lines, you take control of the situation. You protect your mind before the toxic person can enter it. Let's look at a simple story. Imagine a person who always listens to a toxic friend complain for hours. This toxic friend never asks, "How are you?" They only talk about their problems. They drain your energy. One day, after listening for a whole hour, you feel exhausted. But you say nothing. You feel guilty if you stop them. You feel scared they will be angry. This is life without boundaries. Now imagine the same moment, but with a new boundary. When the toxic friend starts complaining for too long, you calmly say, "I cannot talk right now. I need space." You say it gently, you say it clearly, and then you stop responding. You end the call, or you walk away. At first, the friend may be surprised. Maybe they get angry. But remember, toxic people react this way because they are losing control. They do not want you to have boundaries. But you must hold your boundary. You must protect your energy. Boundaries are not rude. Boundaries are healthy. Boundaries show that you respect yourself. Some people think saying no makes them bad. But saying yes all the time, even when it hurts you, is what makes your life heavy. A small no can save you from a big stress later. A calm, honest sentence can protect a whole day of peace. Another example. A toxic coworker always blames you for everything. They raise their voice. They make you feel small. Without boundaries, you accept it. You stay quiet. You feel terrible. But with boundaries, you say, "Please do not speak to me like that." You do not shout. You do not argue. You simply set a clear rule. You show that you respect yourself, and you teach them how to treat you. At first, setting boundaries feels uncomfortable. Your voice may shake, your heart may beat fast, but this is normal. Every new skill feels strange at the beginning. Each time you set a boundary, you grow stronger. Each time you say a simple, honest sentence, you take back a piece of your power. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. They show what behavior you accept and what behavior you do not accept. When you have no boundaries, toxic people feel free to enter your life, your thoughts, and your emotions. They feel free to take your time and your peace. But when you set strong boundaries, toxic people lose their power. They cannot control you anymore. They cannot use your kindness against you. You become stronger, calmer, and happier. Setting boundaries is one of the biggest steps to protecting your heart from toxic people. But boundaries alone are not enough. Toxic people often use tricks, manipulation, and emotional games to break your peace. After setting boundaries, the next step is learning how to protect your mind from these tricks. And that is exactly what we will explore in the next section. Section 6. Do not take their words personally. Toxic people often say things that hurt. They criticize your work, your choices, or even your dreams. They may laugh at your ideas or make jokes about your goals. At first, it feels personal. You feel pain in your heart. You may feel small or weak. You may even question yourself. Am I really doing something wrong? You ask. But here is the truth. Toxic people attack others not because of you, but because of themselves. Their words reflect their own pain, fear, and insecurity. Imagine a toxic friend who laughs at your dream of starting a small business. They say, "You will never succeed. It's impossible." You might feel crushed. You might feel like giving up. You think, maybe they are right. Maybe I cannot do it. But if you look closer, you will see the real reason behind their words. They may have wanted to start a business themselves, but they failed. They feel pain from their own failure, so they try to bring you down. Their words are about their fear, not your ability. Understanding this simple truth is powerful. Another example is a coworker who criticizes your ideas in meetings. They may say, "This will never work. You are not smart enough." You may feel embarrassed in front of others. You may even lose confidence in your own skills. But remember, their words come from their own insecurity. Maybe they are afraid of being judged. Maybe they want to feel better than others. Toxic people attack because they need to feel strong, even if it hurts you. Their words reflect their weakness, not yours. Many people make the mistake of believing toxic words. They think, if they say it, it must be true. This is the ineffective approach. When you take their words personally, you start to doubt yourself. You lose confidence. You feel small. You feel anxious or angry. You may even stop trying your best just to avoid their judgment. This is exactly what toxic people want. They want you to believe their lies about you. They want to control your mind and your feelings. The effective approach is very different. It is simple, but powerful. You learn to separate their words from your truth. You learn to say in your mind, "This is their problem, not mine." You repeat this thought when someone attacks you unfairly. You remind yourself that their fear, anger, or jealousy is not your responsibility. Their words are like clouds in the sky. They pass, but they do not change the sun inside you. You are still strong. You are still capable. You are still valuable. Let's practice a small mental habit. When someone says something rude or unfair, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath, then repeat silently, "This is their problem, not mine." You do not need to argue. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to change your mood instantly. Just repeating this sentence helps you step back from their negativity. It protects your confidence and your peace. Here is another story to help understand this idea. Imagine a relative who constantly criticizes your career choice. They say, "You will never make enough money. You should do something real." You may feel hurt, anxious, or embarrassed. But then you remember, this relative may have their own regrets. They may feel unhappy in their career. They may feel afraid of failure. Their words are about their life, not yours. When you think, this is their problem, not mine, the words lose their power. You feel calmer. You feel stronger. You feel free to continue your own path. Sometimes toxic people attack your personality. Maybe they say, you are too quiet, or you are too emotional. At first, you may feel like something is wrong with you. But remember, their words are about their preferences or their fear, not your value. People often feel uncomfortable when someone is different or independent. Toxic people want others to feel weak because they feel weak themselves. By saying in your mind, this is their problem, not mine, you protect your self-esteem and your confidence. The key idea is this: toxic words are not facts. They are opinions mixed with fear, pain, and insecurity. You have a choice. You can let these words enter your heart, or you can let them pass like wind. When you practice the habit of not taking words personally, you stop feeding the toxic cycle. You stop giving them control over your thoughts and emotions. You stop losing energy and confidence. This skill works with calmness and boundaries. When you stay calm, you do not react to toxic words. When you have boundaries, you do not allow toxic behavior to cross your limits. And when you remind yourself, this is their problem, not mine, you protect your mind from their attacks. These three tools together make you strong. They give you power to handle toxic people without anger, without fear, and without stress. Now that you know how to protect yourself from their words, you are ready for the next skill, staying strong even when they try to bring you down. This next step will show you how to keep your confidence, energy, and peace, no matter what toxic people do. Section 7. Stay strong and build inner confidence. Inner confidence is your strongest shield against toxic people. When you believe in yourself, their words, actions, and attitudes cannot break you. Confidence is not about being loud or aggressive. It is about trusting yourself, trusting your choices, and trusting your abilities. It is a quiet, steady power that lives inside you. When you build this inner strength, toxic people lose their control over your mind and your feelings. Let me tell you a short story. Imagine someone at school who is always quiet. Classmates often make fun of them. Teachers sometimes doubt them. Friends sometimes ignore their ideas. Everyone seems to underestimate them. But this person keeps trying. They believe in themselves quietly. They study hard. They practice every day. They focus on their strengths instead of listening to the criticism. Slowly, they improve. They succeed in a project, and people begin to notice. They feel proud. They feel strong. The same people who doubted them now respect them. They see what confidence can do. This is the power of inner belief. Toxic words and actions do not matter when you trust yourself. Many people make the mistake of waiting for toxic people to change. They hope a friend, co-worker, or family member will suddenly start behaving differently. They think, if they just see my good side, everything will be fine. This is a weak mindset. It gives away your power. It keeps you waiting and feeling frustrated. You depend on someone else to make your life better. But toxic people rarely change. And if you wait for them, you lose time, energy, and confidence. The strong mindset is different. A strong person does not wait for others to change. A strong person changes themselves, their reaction, and their boundaries. They learn to stay calm. They learn to protect their peace. They learn to trust their own feelings and judgment. They focus on what they can control, their mind, their energy, their choices. This mindset is powerful. It is the foundation of lasting confidence. You can build inner confidence with simple habits every day. The first habit is daily affirmations. Speak to yourself kindly and strongly. Say sentences like, I am capable, I am enough, or I control my life. These words may feel strange at first, but repeating them daily changes your mind. You start to believe them. You start to feel them. And when toxic people attack, your affirmations act like a shield. The second habit is focusing on your strengths. Everyone has strengths. Maybe you are kind, patient, smart, creative, or hardworking. Write down your strengths. Look at them often. Remind yourself of what you do well. When toxic people criticize you, you remember your abilities. Their words cannot erase the value that you already carry. This practice builds confidence from inside, not from outside approval. The third habit is spending time with positive people. Energy is contagious. If you spend time with uplifting, supportive, and kind people, you feel stronger. You feel safe. You feel motivated. These people remind you of your worth. Toxic people lose influence because your energy is already filled with positive support. The contrast is clear. If you stay around toxic people only, your confidence weakens. If you stay around positive people, your confidence grows. Another way to strengthen yourself is by setting small goals. Achieving small goals every day gives proof to yourself that you can succeed. When you complete a task, finish a project, or practice a new skill, you feel stronger. Toxic people may say, "You cannot do this," but your actions prove otherwise. Confidence grows from small successes, not from waiting for approval from anyone else. Imagine the earlier story again. The quiet student believed in themselves despite what others said. Every day, they used affirmations, focused on their strengths, spent time with friends who supported them, and completed small goals. Slowly, they became confident. Toxic classmates who once laughed at them could no longer affect their mind. They kept working quietly, steadily, and with inner strength. By trusting themselves, they changed their life. This is the lesson. Inner confidence is not about changing others. It is about changing yourself. It is about learning how to stay calm, how to protect your peace, and how to trust your abilities. When you have this confidence, toxic people lose their power. They may speak, shout, or criticize, but their words do not shake you. You remain steady, strong, and in control. Now, sometimes the toxic person is close to you, a family member, a roommate, or a coworker you cannot avoid. In these situations, building inner confidence is even more important. Confidence allows you to protect your peace even when you cannot walk away. You can stay strong inside, maintain boundaries, and keep your mind safe. Next, we will learn exactly how to stay strong when the toxic person is close to you and you cannot avoid them. This skill will help you protect your mind, emotions, and energy every day, no matter where they are in your life. Section 8. How to deal with toxic people you cannot avoid. Sometimes toxic people are close to us, and we cannot avoid them. They may be co-workers, classmates, or family members. You cannot simply walk away. You cannot block them from your life. But even in these situations, you can protect your peace. You can control your emotions. You can stay strong. You can handle them like a pro. The key is to use simple strategies that keep your mind and heart safe. One important strategy is keeping conversations short. Toxic people often try to control conversations. They complain, gossip, or blame. If you talk for too long, their negativity enters your mind. If you keep your words short and simple, you reduce their power. For example, a coworker may say, "Did you finish the project yet? You always take too long." Instead of arguing or explaining everything, you can simply say, "Yes, it is done. Let's move on." Short sentences protect your energy. They show calmness and control. Another important strategy is not sharing personal secrets. Toxic people sometimes use your trust against you. They may gossip about your life or twist your words. By keeping personal information private, you protect yourself. For example, if a family member asks about your plans, you can answer in a simple way, "I am thinking about it." You do not need to explain all details. You do not need to justify yourself. The less they know, the less they can use against you. This is a smart way to stay safe. Using neutral phrases is also very effective. Neutral phrases do not give the toxic person fuel for arguments. You do not agree or disagree strongly. You do not react emotionally. For example, if someone says, "You are always late and careless," you can say calmly, "I see," or "Thank you for your opinion." These phrases do not start a fight. They do not give power to their words. Neutral responses help you stay calm and steady. Protecting emotional distance is one of the most important strategies. Even if the toxic person is physically close, you can keep your heart and mind distant. You can focus on your own feelings and goals instead of reacting to their attacks. For example, if a classmate criticizes your presentation, you can notice their words without taking them personally. You can remind yourself, "This is their problem, not mine." You can continue your work confidently. Emotional distance is like a shield. It stops toxic energy from entering your life. Many people make the mistake of trying to please toxic people. They say yes to everything. They agree with every complaint. They give attention, time, and energy even when it hurts them. This is the wrong approach. It makes you tired. It makes you weak. It does not change the toxic person. It only gives them more control over your mind. The right approach is very different. The right approach is keeping control of your emotions and space. You decide how much attention to give. You decide what to say. You decide what to share. You protect your mind and heart first. You do not need to change the toxic person. You do not need to win their approval. You only need to stay calm, safe, and confident. Imagine a toxic coworker who criticizes every task you do. You could argue and try to explain, but this will make you tired and stressed. Instead, you keep conversations short. You answer with neutral phrases. You do not share personal information. You remind yourself, "This is their problem, not mine." You focus on your work. You go home and leave the negativity behind. You feel calm and in control. The toxic person may continue to complain, but their words no longer control you. Another example is a family member who always complains about your choices. You cannot avoid them at family events. You cannot block them from calls, but you can limit conversations. You can answer politely and briefly. You can focus on positive topics or leave the conversation when it becomes too heavy. You can protect your emotional space while still being respectful. This is the right way to handle unavoidable toxic people. Even in difficult situations, you have power. Even when you cannot walk away, you can protect your peace. Even when toxic people are close, you can stay calm, confident, and strong. You can control your words, your reactions, and your space. You can choose to remain happy, peaceful, and in control. These strategies help you live with toxic people without losing your energy or confidence. Now that you know how to deal with toxic people you cannot avoid, the next step is learning how to let go completely when it is possible. This final skill will show you how to protect your life and happiness fully. Section 9. When to walk away. Sometimes, no matter how calm you are, no matter how strong your boundaries, or no matter how confident you become, toxic people still affect your life. In these moments, the best choice is simple but powerful. Walk away. Walking away does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you give up. It means you respect yourself. It means you choose peace, clarity, and happiness over stress, anger, and negativity. Staying with toxic people can cost you more than you think. You lose your peace. You lose your time. You lose your confidence. Every day becomes heavy and stressful. Your energy disappears. You may even feel guilty for thinking about leaving. You may hope that someday the toxic person will change, but waiting for them to change only gives them more control over your life. This is the cost of staying. Walking away, on the other hand, brings freedom. It brings clarity. It brings self-love. When you leave a toxic job, a toxic friendship, or a toxic relationship, you take back control of your life. You no longer carry someone else's anger, criticism, or jealousy. You can finally focus on your own goals, your own dreams, and your own happiness. Walking away is not easy, but it is often the healthiest choice. Let me share a simple story. Imagine someone working in a job where a boss constantly criticizes, mocks, and blames them unfairly. At first, they try to be patient. They try to stay calm. They set boundaries. They build confidence. But the boss never stops. Every day feels heavy. Every week feels longer. Finally, they make a choice. They leave the job. At first, it feels scary. They worry about the future, but slowly, peace returns. They find a new job, a healthier environment, and supportive coworkers. They feel happy again. They feel free. They feel like themselves. Walking away allowed them to take back their life. Walking away is also important in personal relationships. Sometimes a friend or family member continuously drains your energy, disrespects your boundaries, and makes you feel small. You may hope they will change, but if they do not, staying with them only causes pain. By walking away, you protect your heart. You create space for people who lift you up, who respect your boundaries, and who make your life joyful. It is normal to feel guilt or sadness when walking away. You may wonder, am I being too harsh? Or should I try one more time? But remember, your peace is more important than anyone else's approval. You have a right to choose happiness. You have a right to protect your time, energy, and mind. Walking away is not selfish, it is self-care. In contrast, staying with toxic people keeps you trapped. You feel stuck. You feel powerless. You spend days trying to please someone who will never be satisfied. You may lose confidence and forget your own worth. Walking away breaks this cycle. It gives you control. It gives you hope. It gives you freedom to grow. So, remember this simple truth. When someone or something is consistently toxic, leaving may be the best action. Whether it is a job, a relationship, or a friendship, walking away allows you to protect your mind, your heart, and your happiness. It is not failure. It is courage. It is strength. Now let's close our journey with a powerful message about protecting yourself, staying strong, and living a peaceful life. We have come to the end of our journey together. Today, we have learned something very important: how to handle toxic people and protect your peace. We began by understanding what a toxic person really is. We saw that toxic people are not evil or bad enemies. They are people who bring harm to your mind and heart. We learned how to recognize the signs early, so you can see when someone is trying to drain your energy or control your emotions. Next, we explored why toxic people affect us so deeply. They plant doubt, fear, and guilt. They can turn a good day into a heavy one. But we discovered that you do not have to stay stuck in this cycle. You can take back your power by staying calm, using boundaries, and building inner confidence. We also practiced powerful skills. Staying calm keeps your mind clear and your heart safe. Setting boundaries shows people what is acceptable and what is not. You learned simple phrases that protect your time, space, and energy. We talked about not taking their words personally, understanding that their attacks reflect their own fear or pain, not your value. These skills are not just tools. They are habits that build strength inside you. Building inner confidence is another key. A strong mindset allows you to trust yourself, focus on your strengths, and spend time with people who uplift you. Confidence acts like a shield against negativity. And even when toxic people are close, like family members, co-workers, or classmates, you now know strategies to protect yourself. Keeping conversations short, using neutral phrases, and maintaining emotional distance can keep your peace even in unavoidable situations. Sometimes, the healthiest choice is walking away. Leaving a toxic job, friendship, or relationship is not weakness. It is courage. It is self-respect. Walking away allows you to reclaim your time, your happiness, and your freedom. It is a step toward living a life filled with peace, clarity, and growth. Remember, protecting your peace is a sign of growth, not selfishness. Practicing these steps may feel strange at first, but every time you stay calm, set a boundary, or say, "This is their problem, not mine," you grow stronger. You learn that you are in control of your life. You learn that you deserve respect, happiness, and peace. And yes, you even have the power to walk away when it is necessary. You deserve peace. You deserve respect. You deserve to feel safe, confident, and free. And the amazing part is, you already have the power to do all of this. Start small. Practice one skill each day. Notice how your energy and happiness grow. Protecting yourself is not just about dealing with toxic people. It is about valuing yourself and your life. If you found this video helpful, please like it. Leave a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe to Read and Learn English for more life lessons and English learning tips. Continue your journey of learning English while improving your confidence, communication, and life skills. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Stay calm, stay strong, and remember, you have the power to protect your heart and live peacefully. Keep learning, keep growing, and always choose yourself. You are worthy, you are capable, and your peace matters.